What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Portal Knights. Today, you and I are going to be hanging out farming shards. Just having a good old dainty time murdering things and then taking its little pieces of crystal. I've noticed that about this world. Apparently in Portal World, everybody has issues with methamphetamines. Everybody's just carrying around huge, vast quantities of crystal. So much crystal with them, in fact, that you can sit down and craft building blocks out of them. As incredible as that seems. I think we've got stuff to do. So what happens if we chop down a burning tree? Does anything happen? Like, do we get burn fire wood or something? No. That's what I would have called it, burn fire wood. It's like bonfire, but with a little bit more like brrr, you know. And it's got a little bit of brrr in there, which makes it a little bit of an oxymoron, but oh well. I haven't really looked around the zone much. It looks like there's a giant cathedral in the middle, which is sort of horrifying and haunting. We'll probably go, ooh, there's a chili pepper in here. Cool. Sun and there's a something tonight and there's a light on. Heavy glow. That's the only Chili Peppers song that I like. Like, out of all their songs, I'm not a Chili Peppers fan. Never have been. Never have been. Californication, I guess, is okay. But just not a fan. Never have been. And I can't tell you exactly why. It's just, I'm just not. Like, I listen to it and I just don't enjoy it, you know? Like, sometimes you don't have an explanation for why you don't like something. You just don't like it. And you don't mean it because people take offense to shit like that, like nowadays. You'll tell somebody you don't like something, and you not liking something is like destroying their entire world. And I'll be like, calm down, nerd. It's not that big of a deal. Like, it's fine. Like, people cannot like things that you like. As long as they're not offensive about it, and they're like, oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers are the lamest piece of shit. You know, like, as long as they don't fly off the handle about it, I don't see what's wrong here. But like, I don't like that, you know. That's totally cool by me. Feel free, Nerd Castle, to dislike everything that I don't like. That's fine. I tell you guys things I like all the time. And for a while, I debated not stating my opinions on the channel anymore. Just because, like, I don't know. Every time you state any opinion, there's just that contrarian person out there that's just going to argue with you. Now, I just don't care. Feel free to just hate everything I think about everything. That's fine. That's cool. We can still hang out. You can hate everything about me. That's fine. As long as we, like, get along in a social sense. I've met tons of people. That's one of the weird things about the internet is I've met so many people that I just fundamentally disagree with on so many different things. And yet we're still friends and we still hang out and we still talk and we still chat, you know. I think that's a good skill to develop. The ability to disagree with somebody in a friendly fashion. And very few people take the time to develop it, I think. Like, most people just try to edit the people out of their lives that they disagree with as much as possible. I leave those people, like, the people that I politically disagree with, or people that, like, I disagree with socially or whatever, I still leave them on my Facebook or whatever. And I'll occasionally, like, talk with them. Not, like, debate with them or anything. But I'll just kind of prod them and be like, well, why do you think that? Just so I can understand their perspective, you know what I mean? And I'll admit, it's tough. Like, sometimes you want to argue with people and you want to get mad at them and be like, how can you have such a dumb opinion? Like, sometimes you want to get angry like that, but I've been fighting it. I've been trying to become better at just, like, accepting people's video. Like, I think that's the big point, is that, like, human beings, we're what's the word I'm looking for? Solipsistic, maybe? Might be the word that I'm looking for. Either way, human beings, we have trouble rectifying the fact that you can see the world from any other perspective other than our own, because we spent our entire lives inside this body, like, witnessing things firsthand that have convinced us of the way the world works in one way or another. And that's a really, really deep, almost like, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's an experience that's very difficult to shake off because you have no other way to experience the world aside from through your own eyes, right? But everybody else has experienced the world from their own perspective, and that's what's led them to their conclusions. And some people do, I think, have legitimately dumb conclusions that they've never vetted or ever tried to vet or anything like that. But I like to think that most people have opinions that are developed through, like, life experiences that might be perpendicular to mine, and that's why we disagree on so many things. I don't know, it's weird. We got some iron ore out of that one and some iron plate blocks, but it doesn't look like, oh man, there's like lava underneath this BZ. Is that obsidian right there? Can I have that? What is this? No, that's just dirt. And then it looks like we could definitely take a long drop and a quick plop if we wanted to go down that way into lava. They talked about that when I was in Hawaii. I went to Hawaii when the Kilauea, or I don't remember. When one of the volcanoes was erupting, I went out there because I really wanted to take a look at it. And it was a pretty incredible experience. If you've never been in the presence of a volcano, it will convince you of, like, the majesty of nature. And just being like, holy shit, like, this is the process that built our entire planet. Like there's continents colliding together and creating mountain ranges and stuff like that. And then alternatively, there's just giant fissures in the earth that just leak material nonstop. I can't hit that right there, and it's upsetting me. There we go. That'll work. There's giant fissures in the earth that just leak material, and over time that material cools and stacks over and over and over again until you've got landmass, and it's a humbling experience. Definitely make you feel small. Although it's funny, when I went out there, they were like, yeah, just be careful. Stay inside. Every morning we go out and we like mark these little areas or whatever that are going to be safe when there's eruptions going on, because we don't want people near the lava because they have the tendency to like throw trash in it and do all kinds of like rowdy shit. And they're like, it will explode if you throw stuff in it. I threw stuff in it. Don't tell the tour guide, but I picked up a bunch of sticks while I was walking out there, like before we got there, and then I threw the sticks in the lava, and they totally did explode. It was amazing. But I did it when there was nobody else around, because I didn't want it to throw like lava shards all over the place and hurt anybody. If it hurt me, that was perfectly fine. That was what I signed up for when I decided to play with lava. Like, that was the contract that my ass signed, which is pretty incredible, considering my ass is not so good at gripping a pen. Still, we've got another, so at the bottom, so that's our 2 portals right there. And so it looks like we've got a branching option right here. It mostly looks like it leads to the same place. And the final zone is right there. We still got some work in front of us, Nerdcastle. I'm hustling overtime right now because I really don't want to end the episodes on any series right now. I feel like lately I haven't been finishing stuff, and I kind of want to finish things. And so anyways, I've been really, really hustling this week, trying to front-load episodes so that like when new stuff comes out next week, I can still keep everything else running and working and doing its thing. So our first portal's down there. That's probably the one that I'll take. In my experience, the portal that's at the bottom of the dungeon tends to take you to better places. And so I like the better places. It sounds like there's somebody running around up here. We're going to have to murder a few more mobs in order to get the shards that we need in order to get up and out of here. But I don't remember... The exit is obviously right here. Just walk in the direction of the burning stuff. But yeah, you cannot fathom how hot lava is. Like, I never thought about it either until I actually saw lava. There was a pool of lava probably about the size of that little indentation right there in the ground. So we'll look at it in just a second to make the story work a little bit better. Wow, we are getting whooped on right now. It might be better to respawn the dungeon and play that again, just to make sure that we get the shards that we need in order to move on to the next zone. These guys are hitting really, really hard. We are taking some heat right now. Not to be punny or anything. But yeah, it was probably about the size of this indentation right here. And I was standing right here. And it was so hot that it felt like my face was going to melt off. Like, it was insanely hot. Like, I just had an inherent desire to soak a bandana and put it over my face. Because it felt like somebody was just putting like a... you know, a hot air dryer, basically, a hot air blower or whatever that you use to, like, do your hair when it's wet. It felt like somebody had it on the high heat setting and just had it, like, right in front of my face where it was so hot that it was right on the edge of just being too painful to stand. Like, it was bad. It was gnarly. And you start to get a feel for, like, the forces of nature when you stand next to something like that and just be like, holy shit. And this just goes on, like, regardless of whether I exist or whether or not, like, anything exists, this process just continues to happen. Just earth creation is amazing. Amazing, amazing stuff. I think I might be able to occasionally get shards out of these little guys. And I need the obsidian anyways so that I can upgrade my forge to whatever comes next. I'm thinking we might be making our weaponry out of gold or something. I don't know. Let's destroy these pools here. And we got 2 obsidian stone blocks out of there. Lots of obsidian. I'm sorry, lots of basalt. Yeah, I think we'll probably have to, if we want to do this effectively, I think we're going to have to use the technique that I used previously to respawn the map. Just because there's not a lot of mobs around. There's enough around to where, oh, he had like a little bounce action right there that he got me with. But what I need to be able to do is I need mobs that I can kill in 2 or 3 hits back to back to back to back in order to effectively get these shards farmed. And so I'm thinking, that was a hiccup, by the way. I don't know if you heard that through the microphone, but that hiccup came at me like full bore. That hiccup was not messing around. That hiccup was done with my shenanigans. He was ready to go. I don't need that dungeon cage fly. I'm just picking up the same shit over and over and over again. Got flammable liquids, huh? We might want to take that back somewhere and do something with it, but I'm a little curious if there's other dungeons around here. It might be worth looking around for. We're not getting a ton of obsidian out of these. So I don't know if this is an effective method by which to get myself... Oh, good. It's faster to do with the pickaxe. Okay, we'll do that then. Yeah, let's just respawn her. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll go back to Dragon Zone here. I do wish the bosses stayed there so you could fight them over and over again if you wanted to. Or maybe if you got some ingredients, you could, like, spawn a hard mode version of them or something like that. It was a fun little fight. I enjoyed it. That was a cool little interesting fight. I want to check just to make sure he hasn't respawned. Oh, there's an egg right here. Can I do it again? Oh, I can. Cool. That's pretty sweet. I mean, I don't know if I want... I kind of want to do it again. Oh, man. See, the trick is you got to get him... I don't have time to throw that one off the edge. Yeah, I'll kill him again, just in case he drops something useful. I think he dropped pretty good loot last time, so maybe we'll give him another go. Ow. Oh, I tried to shoot it out of the air again. I was trying to be a badass. I failed, though. I failed. Oh, man. Now that I got them locked, though, that one's going to go off the edge. Although I think they're all going to spawn downstairs now. Yeah, to give me a better target to shoot for, mine. Man, 695 damage. That's a hit right there. I think if it wasn't for this weapon, we probably wouldn't be accomplishing much. No! Oh, I almost got him with that one. It was so close. It was so close. It's kind of hard when you don't have them locked. Like, you got to get them locked. And then I think once you got them locked, it gets a little bit... No! The dragon got his revenge on me. Dragon got his revenge on me. That's okay. I just wanted to respawn this zone anyways. It was kind of just a side thing to kill the dragon again. Wasn't paying attention to my healing situation. Just a little for fun thing. Man, that little bomb guy is trying to get me straight out of the gate. He's not feeling it. Those little bomb guys almost always drop a shard, though, which makes them quite a bit more useful for farming than anybody else. We'll work our way back down to the bottom of the dungeon here. And in so doing, hopefully provide ourselves with enough shards to get this done. Wasn't really planning on spending this much time farming shards. But I suppose it's part of the game now. Skeleton, why you do me like that? All I need is shards, man. If you don't give me those things, you are worthless to me. You are not helpful if you ain't dropping the thing that I need. I say, Skelly, be gone. Yeah, it's fine. You can hit me in the face if you want. Anything that helps me murder you faster. I'm okay with it. I can accept it. Need a better bow for sure. I probably got the iron to make it happen now too. Just haven't been back home in a while. Man, ain't nobody dropping shards right now. You're not feeling my shenanigans. Bomb gazers always got me covered though. Well, sometimes. Shit. Yeah. I really wish I could convert like that 20-something blocks I have of the previous color into some form of the new color. I really feel like that would be a compromise that would be pretty fair, because you end up with like 100 of the previous shards and nothing to do with them. And sometimes you just want to breeze through some zones because there's no resources, there's nothing useful here for us. Like, nothing here is going to make our job easier, you know? There's another one. And there's another one. And there's another one. So now we got enough to use the portal, which is all that I really wanted anyways. Oh, we found a treasure while we were in here, so that's a plus. Gave us some more iron ore, which we are sorely lacking. And actually, we've picked up a pretty decent amount of iron ore, just like sitting around doing nothing, so that's pretty cool. Might be enough to get us into our next bow the next time we go home, but haven't really looked. I don't know what the next crafting tier is anyways. So I'm assuming we're probably going to build stuff out of gold or something. Wait, there's a dead end here? There wasn't a dead end here before. There was a little portal-y thing. Man, I'm all lost, walking around in circles, can't find my way. Looking all foolish. I probably just went through the wrong door. These things in general seem to span pretty large complexes. And if you take a wrong turn, like I found a bunch of treasure chests I've missed on previous maps while I've been fiddling around, farming shards or whatever else. I tend to go back to previous maps and just mess with stuff while I'm there. We'll probably build again soon, too. No, I don't want to fight with him. I want to fight with him. There you go. Perfect. The skellies aren't dropping the shards for me like I want them to. And so since they have decided to deny me, I shall deny them. In the most apostly of ways. I will say, depart, skelly, for I know thee not. And for some reason I'll use old Shakespearean English. I don't know. The king's own, is that what it's called? I don't know. We don't use that phrase here. I'm gonna keep on shooting you cause you're stuck on a floor grate and that is awesome. You're super bad at walking and I'm gonna exploit that to really hurt you. Bomb gazer. Oh man. Ugh! I must have missed another one. I know the portal was down here somewhere. It was in the vicinity, as I recall. Damn it. Where is this thing? I am murdering you. Enjoy the taste of my steel. It's very metallic. I hate to spoil the surprise, but it's quite metallic-y. Is metallic-y a thing that you can say? It's like Metallica, but metallic-y. I don't like Metallica, by the way. I'm a Megadeth fan. Sorry, you gotta pick a side. People deny that you have to, but I am the enforcer. Pick a side. It's either Hetfield or Mustaine. Nothing in between. Drama. Alright, so we're done here. Let's get out of this zone because this heat is just really, really, really doing a nasty thing to my hair. It's all curly and just... I don't like it. Let's get out of here. I gotta go to a place, the Fuming Grounds. Basically anywhere where I've had Mexican food. 15 minutes after. So is everything volcanic from now on? It's all like a burned up version of previous maps? Ooh, I see gold. Gold! Beauteous gold. Beauteous gold. Some of these dudes in their loincloths, man. Invent clothing. Like, is it really that much of a difficulty for you? I mean, you don't have to have clothes, I guess. I like being naked. Now that I think about it from your perspective, as we were talking about earlier, being naked is pretty awesome, so... I don't know. Maybe I just got my head up my ass. It's possible. And here's the point at which, once you start finding things and farming out gold and stuff like that, this is where you're really, really, really gonna start to get a ton of shards, because every 3 or 4 of these that you break your way through, you're gonna get a freebie shard. Gold ore, gonna get some gold more. I like how shiny it is. I like how they use the metallic texture. That texture right there reminds me of the texture they used to use on the N64 all the time for anything that was metallic. It was like a really like goofy looking metallic reflecty, I don't know. I think that was before they had figured out, God, what was that called? There's a thing that metal does when it reflects. It's called ray tracing or something like that. This was back before they figured out how to do ray tracing effectively. I remember back in the day they said ray tracing was impossible. They said you couldn't do it. When they first discovered the technique for like graphic 3D design and stuff, ray tracing basically handles how objects are reflected in a mirror, or how objects are reflected. Oh, there's obsidian here too. Well, that's all good for us because we totally need that. But anyways, when they first found it, I remember they did an article on like Game Informer or something like that, talking about how like difficult it was to do and how almost impossible it was to allocate the resources. Like you needed like a supercomputer to do it. And I don't know if it's because they like underestimated how powerful computers were going to get. Although we are drawing towards that point. I've noticed that computers are getting noticeably less awesome with each iteration. I don't know if you guys have noticed that too. But like they're getting better, but we're having to get more efficient now because the processing speeds I think are... There's like a limit in data throughput, right? Something like that. I remember that from my IT training. Where at a certain point, the data won't be able to go any faster. And so from there, you'll just have to get more and more efficient in the way that you plan out its routes and things like that. Something along those lines. I don't recall. I'm not a computer science guy anymore. Was for a while, not any longer. Yeah, we're going to go back to base pretty soon, and I think allocate some of this stuff. There was a big, scary, spoopy underground cave. Well, there's lots more gold down here, too, which is really what I'm kind of interested in. I would love to jump up to the next tier and be looking all beautiful and shining in my super gold armor, even though gold is horrible for armor. I guess if you could mix it with something and make an alloy, it would do a little better. But even then, probably not the thing you want to use for armor. I'm pretty sure most of this shit's going to fall down into the void before I get a chance to loot it, so what can you do? Yep. There went a shard right there. Wasted shards. Why are you so wasted? Why don't you love your life? I want to go. We'll go over here. Oh, we leveled. Huzzah! More stat points for the stat fire. Let's go home. It's so far back now. I just want to go home. You gotta sing it like Michael McDonald. I'll be there. Every day when you're going, I'll be there. I don't know. I don't think I've ever even listened to Michael McDonald. I just heard the jokes they made about it when I watched, what was the name of that movie? 40-Year-Old Virgin. Where my blocks at? Where my blocks at? Give me that shiz. Oh my god, my game just broke. Oh, things are happening. Huh, that was weird. It got locked in opening the chest, but I just like if you ever have that problem, just alt tab and come back in and it'll fix it for you. I bet that I don't have enough obsidian. Yup. I have failed in my obsidian duties. If I had to take an obsidian duty, that seems like it would really hurt the rectum. It does not seem pleasant, I guess is what I'm leaning towards. An obsidian duty seems like you would want to avoid doing that at all costs if you could. I got a little bit of iron. I got a little bit of stone. So you gotta do everything like Michael McDonald. That's how you live a happy life right there. A life that is full of happiness. I just want my iron bars to be done. Iron bars. Alright, iron bars. So now I gotta go back over to the workbench. Also known as the twerk bench when we're having one of our parties. Because you get on over here and you use that thing and you just twerk that ass. Twerk that ass, girl. Or guy, if you want to twerk. I mean, I don't care. It's the twerk bench, though. That's what I've affectionately named it. I think I destroyed all of my wood. Because I was like, I don't need you any longer. You will no longer be a part of my life or Kevin's life. He'd be like, no, don't take Kevin from me. And I was like, Kevin is mine. And then we had a giant legal custody court battle with the wood over Kevin and his future. Sometimes you gotta do it. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna smack you. And that's what's gonna happen right there, exactly. Enjoy that, face down in the dirt. I would like to fix this. No. I'm gonna start fixing some of my shiz. It's in rough shape right now. Alright, so let's upgrade this little bastard. And it doesn't appear to have changed much. Apparently it's level 3 now, though. Which I guess means that I can make an iron lumberjack's axe. And that's just the facts if you want to make a lumberjack's axe. I should probably stow away some of this stuff, but I don't know. We're kind of out of time for the day anyways, so my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Portal Knights. I will see you in future episodes. I've been having a lot of fun playing the game with all of you, and I think that it's a game with merit. I think it's a game that needs a little bit longer on the cook fire to kind of develop some of the ideas that it's playing around with before you be able to do like a full-on review of the game. Simultaneously, though, I'm having a good time with it. Aside from the random little phases where I end up farming for long periods of time, aside from that, I really, really like the game. That still remains like the only thing that kind of bugs me. So, I will see you all later. Thank you for joining me for yet another episode. It's been a blast. How you do, everybody?